We recently moved out of the house this story takes place in. I am 15-year-old high school student who resides in Florida. I was so excited to move, not only because this house had a pool, but because I was about to finally have a dad. I never had one because we left when I was only 2 years old. I grew up in Illinois, so I was used to the country lifestyle until we moved. We found the perfect place with my mother's fiance. He had 2 children of his own, one was a 17-year-old daughter and the other was a 19-year-old son who was about to go into the military. He decided to help us look for a house and we found this amazing one-story home with 4 bedrooms. He moved in with us. We were looking for rooms and found the perfect one. It had blue walls and a huge closet. I loved it because I had a great view of the beautiful backyard. We finally moved everything in and it was getting pretty late. The first 3 nights were amazing. I loved it there and I knew that my mom and stepfather had found a great home. On the 4th night my stepbrother was sleeping over at his girlfriend's house and he left his light on. It was about 2:30 a.m. and I was about ready to go to sleep after playing some phone games. I could have fallen asleep because his room was at the end of the hall as mine was on the side, so the light only reflected on part of my wall by the door. I remember going to see the movie Insidious that night when it came out, so I was already spooked. I remember thinking I heard voices. Tricking myself into being scared. I brushed it off as just my mind playing tricks on me. So I closed my eyes ready to sleep. A few minutes passed and I heard a knock on my wall. I look over and my heart sank as I saw a human-like shadow pass by the wall. Now remember, my stepbrother was not home that night and no one was in his room. I sat for what felt like an eternity, then the shadow passed again, heading the opposite direction it came. I threw the covers over my head. I know, childish, but I was really freaked out. I heard voices again coming from my left closest to the door. They kept saying my name over and over again, and I felt like my heart was about to stop. They stopped for a couple of seconds and then a voice screamed the most haunting scream ever into my ear, saying my name and asking if I was scared. I jumped out of bed and ran to my parents' room, diving between them. I remember looking at their door frame and seeing the outline of a man standing there, but no one was there. I closed my eyes and basically cried myself to sleep, and ever since I switched rooms with my sister across the house, and I have never been bothered again besides the occasional scratches in my ceiling. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't leave that room the one night, because the next morning we found a trace of black ash and little strings of rope in the closet. So creepy, ghost shadow. Let's not meet again. This content was provided by